a massive win for Donald Trump. I mean, of course, the Colorado Supreme Court verdict last year had left everybody stunned, and the Democrats thought that maybe this could be the end of the road for Donald Trump. But now, with the US Supreme Court setting that ruling aside, it does look like it's going to be a Trump-Biden rematch. And if some of us had thought that Trump had an advantage vis-a-vis the US Supreme Court because the court has a 6-3 conservative majority and 3 of those judges were appointed by Trump himself, make no mistake, this was a unanimous verdict.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Neha. I think there were very many people in not only in the United States, not only Democrats, but I think around the world who have been holding their breath at another Trump presidency, and what it would do to international affairs, what it would do to the US foreign policy as far as the transatlantic partnership is concerned, the alliances are concerned, its support to NATO is concerned, and you in your introductory comments have brought out all these issues very clearly. So I think the world was literally holding its breath to see what the US Supreme Court is going to say. And the US Supreme Court has pronounced its verdict, and it has said that no court has the right to pronounce itself on this particular issue of insurrection. And if anything, it is the Congress which has to rule on this issue, and if disqualification of a candidate is required to be done. So I would say it's a huge shot in the arm as far as Mr. Trump is concerned. There were a few other states also which had followed the lead of Colorado, but of course all those decisions are also in the light of what the Supreme Court has said, they will also not stand. So I agree with you, a huge shot in the arm for Trump. Maybe Nikki Haley was also waiting for this decision, that if it is a negative decision, if it is a decision against Trump, then she would stand a chance because she would be the only Republican candidate who would be standing because all the others have withdrawn. But now I don't think her hopes have also now been dashed to the ground. And we are going to have Super Tuesday, 15, 16 states going all together. So I think Trump's nomination as the Republican candidate is more or less assured. It is only the formalities that are left to be done. So on November the 5th, I think we are going to have a Trump-Biden rematch as it happened in 2020.
I don't know, none of us know what's going to happen in the multiple criminal cases that Donald Trump continues to face. He is a twice impeached former president. He's made history for all the wrong reasons. But fact of the matter is that the US Supreme Court win comes as a huge boost for Donald Trump, because if you look at various opinion polls that have been done in recent months, they suggest that Trump leads Biden. And, some Democrats are drawing comfort from the fact that 4 of these justices, had a difference of opinion on some technicalities, and that none of these judges actually ruled on whether Trump is an insurrectionist. All they have stated in this ruling is that you cannot knock a candidate off the ballot, especially a president, on charges of insurrection. But aren't the Democrats clutching at straws? Because at this point in time, it doesn't look like it matters whether any of these judges believe that Trump was an insurrectionist. Because for now, the decks are clear. And it does look like it's going to be Trump versus Biden come November 2024. And that does have a lot of Democrats worried, doesn't it?
Well, I think I'm not surprised when people say that it's going to be a Biden-Trump rematch, I think that's always been the case. I don't think any of the other people, none of Nikki Haley and all that, have Governor Santis made any difference on that. See, when 2024 came up, it appeared that the courts would have as much of a say as the campaign itself. Because at that time, Donald Trump faced 2 federal indictments, and 2 state cases that brought up the total charges to about 91. Challenges to his ballot eligibility proliferated. And now, of course, the court has ruled on his ballot eligibility in the states. Now, today, if you look at the situation 2 months later, the federal cases have slowed down to the point where verdicts are not expected before November. I don't expect them. One of the state cases has been derailed by a sex scandal. The other is due to go to trial later this month, but it's seen as a fairly insignificant case. The challenge to Trump's ballot eligibility was settled, of course, on Monday when the Supreme Court ruled. See, at the end of the day, the big issue is that the courts aren't going to save the United States from themselves. The US is in a state of a deep political crisis, and I don't think courts are they going to save it. It is the only way to save them is to save themselves. Meaning, if there's an undemocratic candidate up for president, you have to go and vote against him. So at the end of the day, this has to be settled by politics, see, not by the courts.